her baby, healthy baby boy, so she's at home. I wouldn't be, I was kind of thought maybe she'd sleep by today, but I haven't seen her yet, so maybe the next one. So on that, I'm going to hand it over to Chef Angel from Mesa Court, and I'll let him take the floor.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Angel Lara. I'm the new chef at Lot 5. Just to let you guys all know, this is my first time, so please be gentle. So for today's salad you are dining on is a citrus and roasted baby beet salad on a bed of spinach and toasted walnuts, grated goat cheese. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do when you start on this salad is you always want to go with the things that are going to take the longest, right? So the beets are going to take the longest. So I set my oven at 400 degrees. I have my beets. 1, 2. For me, beets, one of my favorite vegetables, root vegetables. We're coming into the fall season, or we're in the fall season, going into the winter season. Also citrus. Citrus is a part of the seasons. That's why I chose this salad. Root vegetables is part of the fall season and winter season as well. Very beautiful when you roast them. Just so much bright, vivid color as you can see on your salad. So what the first thing we're going to do is cut the tips off. And you can always save the leaves, the greens, and use them for like a quick little saute or boil them. They work just like spinach with a nice earthy note to them. What I did with these, I added them into the salad as well. I just chopped them up and added them in. Really quick and easy. All you do is add a little bit of pepper, a little salt inside here, some oil. Just toss it around real quick, right? And then I have my pan that I'm going to roast it in. I just throw them inside the pan, salt and pepper, easy. I like to add a little orange juice to it. You can also add crushed garlic. You can add thyme to it. I usually do like garlic and thyme or some shallots. It's just kind of how I feel at the moment. Oven's at 400. Just pop them in the oven. So while those are roasting, you can get your other ingredients together. So the next thing we want to do is maybe start segmenting our oranges and grapefruit. It's really easy. Put it down, you cut off the tips. And there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You go around the edge here, because nobody wants peelings. I mean, it doesn't taste good as much. I know I have a 9-year-old son and he loves his citrus. He loves his oranges. And when he was like three years old, he used to come run up to me and ask for his oranges. And that's the only way he was going to eat them, was I had to segment them for him every time. So it kind of was a bad habit we got him into. So we're just cutting around the edges, right? Just kind of clean it up. And then for me, I just go inside here. One way to do it is go inside. So you have nothing but the pulp. Juicy, good. Or another way you can do it, like I did on this salad, is you can cut it down to break them into smaller pieces. It's quicker, just to give them little slices. Get rid of these guys. So then you have your nice little fan of orange or grapefruit segments. Same thing with the oranges. And if you're doing like a nice big display salad on your dinner table or just for your family, you can cut it down as well, and you can do rings. So there's various ways to do it. So then you have nice little rings. And now what I typically do after the beets are roasted and everything, because we're short on time, let's say beets are roasted, they come out of the oven, I have the excess juice from the beets that was reducing already in the pan, and it's infused with a nice beet flavor, right? So that goes inside the pan, and we just turn it on full blast. right? There's the juice. So that needs to reduce down a little bit. We're just gonna add a little bit of some sugar to it. Some salt. Yes.
Did you say that you would be using the one that comes out of the pan, or you would be adding that to it later, or?
So what would happen? So once this, yeah. So this comes out. I just have it separated now because it's going to take about an hour for or about 45 minutes for the beets. So normally I would use that. So like the dressing you have on your guys' plate has the one that I roasted with the beets. Right? Sorry. So that goes down and it reduces down. I'm basically just trying to make it a little bit more concentrated. I want it a little bit sweeter. I want it a little bit more sour. I want a little tartness to it. And as that reduces down, we have our spinach. We can toast our nuts. So we have our nuts. We just pop them inside of another baking dish and pop them straight into the oven. For me, because I have a lot of restaurant experience, I've been working in a lot of restaurants. These are my favorite things. Saute pans, fully metal handle. Because anytime you're like sauteing something, you sear something, put it straight in there, and you can just pop that straight into the oven as well. That's one of my favorite tools in here, next to my knife. So we have these segmented and done, 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 done. That's gonna reduce down. Any questions so far about anything? Okay, also, so with the goat cheese, because I like to grate it, and anytime you have a soft cheese, it doesn't work out, right? It doesn't grate at all. You can't grate it. So what I like to do is put it in the freezer. So I usually throw it in the freezer, which I've done ahead of time already. Just can't remember which one I put it in. Nope. As you can tell, this isn't my kitchen. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Here it is. Another awesome tool, microplane. So usually you can just microplane it. Nice little, move this over here. Give me 1 second to clean up real quick. Right. So now that we have our goat cheese, we have the microplane. And if you look at it, it looks like snow falling, right? You shave it, or you can just shave it straight over your salad. I like lots of cheese, what can I say? Let's keep going. Also, I kind of skipped a step, but with the oranges, before I cut them down, I usually use a little bit of, I grab the zest from there, and that's just zest the orange. Right? You can zest it into your sauce after it's reduced down. So it gives it a nice, almost like an herbage, more aromatic flavor to it. So zest is like one of the, just go with zest, trust me. Add one. So this is a chevar. It's a fresh. It's fresh goat cheese. Because I get it in bulk, I cut it down into like a ring. So I don't know if you guys ever made like forced butter. You know, you kind of just roll it out into a log. And it just works easier to handle. So now if you look at my pan, it's reducing down, right? Have a blender. After like 2 minutes in the oven, the nuts will be ready. Nice and toasted. Now I'll just hold them all to the side for now, or everything can go straight into your bowl. So this is reducing down. As you can see, it's starting to get a little red color. I threw a little extra beets in here just because of the time constraint. So this is reducing down. It's turning into almost like a blood orange color. Beets, I don't know if you guys know, but beets is one of the main ingredients used to make different colorings, an all-natural food coloring. I've also used it with pastas before. You make a little puree and just put it inside your pasta to turn it purple red. So that's going. While that's going, I'll start setting up my blender. Like I said, they infuse together, that's there. Season it with some salt, season it with some pepper, sugar. Only thing I'm missing is a little bit of vinegar to help make it a little bit more on the tart side, because it is a vinaigrette. And I don't know if you know, but salt and tart vinegars or sours help salivate your mouth. That's what makes your mouth water, basically. So it makes you want to have a little bit more. That's why fried food is so good, right? All the fat and salt. This is reducing down. So let's say this is reduced. I usually reduce it about half. It also depends on how tart the citrus is. So like right now, I'm gonna taste it, see if it has any sourness to it at all, or the sugar content. So it's there, right? It should taste like a super orange. It's just gonna be just stronger, sour, and sweeter. And we added that vinegar to help with the tartness. Now, what I've done here is I put the beets in there also to act as an emulsion, because I like it emulsified. So you can use Dijon, or you can use like shallots and just food. So I put the beets in here, right, to help fortify it, or to help emulsify it. Sorry. Set this up. Because this is still hot, I'm gonna make sure to put a towel or something over it. And whenever we're dealing with hot liquids in a blender, you want to make sure to let it air out. Otherwise, it will compress and it will explode on you. So, yeah, you don't want that. So we're gonna get this started. That happened to me once before when I first started. It was a terrible experience. So we turn this on variable. Put this on low first. Let's grab some oil. So now what we're searching for here is a balance. So because it's super sour, we're going to incorporate the fat now. So by the fat, I mean the oil. Oil is flavor. So we're just going to drizzle some oil in there. Drizzle, 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 drizzle. And the ratio for vinegar and oil is a 3 to 1, so 1 part vinegar, 3 parts oil usually. But it also depends on what type of vinegar you're using. So if you're using a sweeter vinegar, like something like a balsamic, it might be a little bit less oil, right? We're using citrus juice that's reduced down. So the tartness of it is going to be a little bit different too. So maybe we're not going to go the whole 3 to 1 ratio there. Maybe we might go just like 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, right? All this oil in there. A little bit more sugar because we added some fat, we added the oil to it. A little more salt in there. A little bit more pepper. Cut it down. Let's see where we're at right now. Uh-oh. It's fine. It's good. It's caramelized. It's natural sugars. Throw it back in there to give it some more depth. So let me see. Yeah, tastes really good. So now that we have our ingredients together, typically I let this cool down, right? By that time, you should have your beets ready to pull out of the oven. So let's say I pull out my beets. So we'll say that the beets are done, right? And the best way to peel a beet is when it's nice and warm. So you can let it set out and temper for like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, right? And with that, after that, you just come across with a towel or a paper towel and you just rub off the skin and it just peels right off really easily. And then you're left with some nice shiny looking beets in here. So like, here's the gold ones and here's the red ones, right? So just drop those inside if they want to go. Drop a little bit of the gold ones in there. A couple of our nuts. Always, always, always season your salad a little bit, please. A little pepper. And then we have the vinaigrette. This is my spoon and this is my salad, so I can use it. And there's your little beet salad, ready for the holidays, ready for fall, a little different, very colorful, and in season. And that will complete my lesson for today. How did I do so far? I mean, what do you guys think? Okay, so? Can I ask one favor though? Can I take a picture of all you guys? Would you guys be okay with that? I mean, this is a memory for me too. I want to be able to show my kid, my son.
Selfie?
Oh, I hate selfies though. All right. I'll do a selfie even though I hate them. All right. Can you guys like wave or? Let's see, wrong way. There we go. Say hi. And now with that completed, I'll hand this over to Tyson.
See, there's some nice little background. It's amazing. We have
We have to start switching over the mics.
Yeah, so he'll switch over the mics.
Okay.
We have to do this.
And let me grab that as well. Do I need this? That way.
You have 3?
Yeah, he's got 3. One for the room. Oh,
There you
that's
go,
the one for the room. All right.
Clean up everything.
Then. Something like
Just
that.
have little clips on them, if you like.
Oh, do they?
Pocket, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the pocket.
You should be, I'll dim the lights a little bit, so.
All right, give me just 1 second, guys. Got all these wires. There. All right. So thanks once again to Chef Angel for this wonderful demo. I'm going to go ahead now and talk a little bit about sustainable dining here at UCI. So before I begin, can I get a show of hands? Who was here when we did this in April and we talked about sustainable dining on campus? Okay, so maybe about half, a third or so. So for some of you guys, the beginning of this might be a little bit of a repeat, but we're going to get into some new stuff towards the end, so just bear with us. Let me go ahead and grab, I've got one other thing I need. So we'll dive right in. First, I want to start with a couple highlights. This will go. And it says it's on. Did it die? I mean, I can try to wing it.
Bring it that way towards the left. You're just gonna point it to me and I'm gonna get you going.
Oh, there we go.
No, I did it. But I'll just
Oh, okay. Perfect. So yeah, we'll start out just a couple quick highlights about sustainable dining here on campus, then we'll go in a bit more detail on some of these programs. We just want to let you guys know, what the campus offers. That way you're familiar, as staff and faculty, you have all the options that students have and then some in some cases. So first off, I just want to talk about sustainable foods on campus. We saw a lot of great healthful foods here that Chef Angel talked about, and that ties in as well with the foods that we offer on campus. Actually, 26% of the foods that we have on campus are sustainable, and that's through the definition set out by UCOP. So that's including things like locally grown foods, that's including organic foods, cage-free, sustainable seafoods, all that kind of stuff, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a moment. We also have 5 zero waste dining locations. How many of you know what zero waste dining is, or is zero waste? A couple of people? So for those of you that aren't familiar with zero waste, UC has a goal system-wide. We're going towards zero waste by 2020, and what that means is 95% or more of all waste from all of our operations is not going to landfill. It's either being composted or it's being recycled. So 5 of our dining locations, including all 3 of our residential dining commons and a couple of our retail places, are zero waste locations. We're also styrofoam free, and we've got a little bit of feedback. Let me space these out maybe. And we've also got a reusable to-go program as well to help reduce disposables, and that's something that's available not just for students, but if staff, faculty, if you're all interested in getting something to go when you're on the go to your class or your department, anything like that, we do offer that as well, and that's out of our residential dining locations. And then the next thing I want to talk about, and I'll go in more depth on this one as well, is our Green Captain program. So we have an amazing team of students that work for us, and among that amazing team, we have an even more amazing team, in my opinion, of Green Captains. So these are employees that are champions for sustainability in our dining locations. They help educate their fellow peers, they help educate our guests that come to our dining locations, and they help to develop the programs, many of which you'll see us talk about here. And then lastly, kind of tied in with that, we hold a lot of sustainability themed events throughout the year as well, and the Green Captains are a big part of that. And the one that I'll talk about towards the end and really want to highlight here though is we're doing a Sustainable Food Systems Speaker Series event in November, and there's actually a RSVP sheet right on the end of the table up here up at the front. So if anyone's interested as I start talking about that, feel free to pass that around, sign up for it. Oh, let's go to the next slide. Not a problem. Let me just set that down so I don't try to use it. So the next thing that you're going to see here is about our sustainable foods, going a little bit more in depth on what that means. So first thing I want to point out really is that this is both our residential dining locations as well as our retail places that are sourcing sustainable foods. So it's not just Pippin Commons, it's not just Lot 5, it's not just Brandywine. If you don't go to any of those locations, you're still able to get sustainable foods on campus. Who here's been to the Organic Greens to Go at East Food Court? The salad place, a lot of you, yeah. So we do source a lot of local foods, we source a lot of organic foods at that location, but it goes beyond just that location as well. So campus-wide, we're doing what we can to source sustainably. So like I mentioned, it includes our sustainable seafoods. It also includes coffee at all of our dining locations, whether it's fair trade, whether it's Rainforest Alliance certified, whether it's organic, we're sourcing sustainable coffee as well. So this is just something to keep in mind if you're being conscious about your food choices. We are trying to support that as well. So let's go to the next one here. So towards that end, how do you find out a bit more information about this? We have a program called We Buy Local. We do this at the residential dining commons as well as at the East Food Court, and we may expand in the future. But what this does is it highlights where the local foods are coming from. So we show different farms, we show different farmers, producers, bakeries that are local and use local raw ingredients. So the bakeries, for instance, using local flour as well as being located locally as well. And so this will be an opportunity to learn more about these these producers. You can find out about their history, about the people that work for them. Let's go ahead. So transitioning over from sustainable foods, going a bit more in depth on zero waste dining here on campus, and I'm going to move these one more time because I keep hearing that feedback. So I want to talk a little bit about what zero waste dining is in depth and how we achieve that. So the two main components to it really are waste diversion and waste minimization. So waste diversion is where we keep the waste from going to landfills. Waste minimization is where we reduce the waste that's produced in the first place. So along with waste diversion, that includes not only our locations that are already at zero waste, but several that are on their way towards zero waste that anytime you visit those, you can have an active role in really helping us achieve that, not just as dining, but as UCI. So that includes the East Food Court, where we've started composting and recycling this year as well. It includes BC's, and if you ever go to the Bren, it includes the Bren as well, where we do the concessions. So anytime you're there, it's really important that people are sorting out items that can be recycled, items that can be composted. We have signs that'll help you, make that decision very quickly. But it's really, it's up to the staff, it's up to the faculty, it's up to the students here at UCI to make that difference. Waste minimization, we have a lot of practices here on campus designed to reduce waste. For instance, you probably saw when Chef Angel was doing his demo even, talking about how you can reuse different parts, the leaves from the beets even, just getting into those small little details. How can we reduce the waste that way? So we're very conscious about that, and actually dining was awarded the EPA award for source reduction in 2014. So through the Food Recovery Challenge, we report our food waste information every year, and you can always look forward to seeing how much we're avoiding producing in the first place, as well as how much we're avoiding sending to landfill that does get produced. Let's go to the next one. So what happens when we send it and it doesn't go to landfill, especially for the food waste, right? It's great, it's not going to landfill, but where is it going? So at our dining locations, when food goes into a compost bin, whether that's our residential locations or our retail locations, from there it's getting picked up by facilities management. They're taking it to waste management, located just in the city of Orange. And then they have a little machine they call their core that's used to turn that food waste into a slurry. That then goes to local water districts. And let's go to the next slide here, which have anaerobic digesters. So these are tanks that are oxygen-free environments with bacteria in it. The bacteria, just as their natural life cycle, they eat the food waste slurry. They produce biogases, and those biogases are actually used to generate electricity for those water treatment facilities. And then in turn, as many of you are probably aware, UCI actually gets reclaimed water from Irvine Ranch Water District as well. So it's a nice little loop that we have going on here. Let's go to the next one. So I want to turn now to Green Captain initiatives, because these are really they're the backbone of so much of what we do. So Green Captains at all of our dining locations, you'll probably be able to recognize them starting this year. You'll start seeing badges like this that I'm wearing right now. This one says, ask me about food security. So afterwards, if you want to ask me about food security, you're welcome to. But as part of educating the campus as well, we really invite you to ask us about the sustainability programs in dining. And ask us about broader issues of sustainability as well. Our Green Captains, as I mentioned, helping to educate not just our guests but also our fellow employees as well, are going to be sharing this kind of information, educating them, and then through the Ask Us About Sustainability program with these badges, you all can engage with us, and we can start that dialogue as UCI and as the UC system. Additionally, through the Green Captains, we've done programs such as Pick Up Plate at Panda Express, which is encouraging people to choose plates rather than to-go containers because it is actually less waste, it's less material used to produce them. Our World Water Day events, the watermarks that you see there on the screen that we feature at some of our dining locations, that came out of the Green Captain program. So it's a really important program, and part of why I want to mention it here too is any students that you interface with, we really want them to be aware of the opportunity for them to engage if they're interested in dining already. Then they also have this opportunity within dining to be involved in sustainability, as well as anytime they visit our dining locations too, just to kind of ask us about sustainability. Let's go to the next one. So sustainability events, and we have a nice little video here of the seed planting that we did for the Zot Health Fair. Amazing event with student wellness and health promotion there. So we do a variety of different events. One of the ones that you see there up at the top is the Weigh the Waste events. We do these a couple times a quarter, and this is education about reducing waste. So this is one that's not really staff and faculty focused, but something to be aware of that's going on here at UCI. Twice a quarter we do this event, Weigh the Waste, talking with students about simple steps they can take to reduce food waste. And actually through this we've seen about a 9% reduction compared to last year, and we keep seeing this reduction year to year to year. So if you track back about 5 years, that waste per person actually would have been right around like 2.4 or 2.5 even, and it's down to 1.31 ounces per person for a meal, which is amazing when you compare to Ivy League institutions, Harvard, that kind of thing. Their year average is typically about 1.1, 1.2. This is just the start of our year. We always see it go down over the course of the year. This is October, so it's going to track down, and we're going to compete. We're going to do well as UCI. We also participate in a variety of health events. So as I mentioned, the Zot Health Fair, but also things like a vegan cooking class, which is another one of the RSVP signups you can check out going on in November. We've done vegan dining nights partnering with clubs here at UCI. We do Meatless Mondays every Monday at our dining commons. We've also done several other demos partnering here with Health and Fitness Friday and others. And then we also do other events as well, Recycle Mania, World Water Day. We'll do events for fair trade. So definitely check those out as they interest you. It ties in not just with the wellness of the planet, of the ecosystem, but also our personal wellness too. For instance, the seed planting here, just kind of the therapeutic aspect of horticulture, of just that involvement with gardening. Let's go to the next one. So getting into a couple of our imminently upcoming events, things that are going on in November. The first one here, and this is open not just for students, but for staff and faculty as well. We're doing a scavenger hunt. We're calling this one Blue and Gold Eats Green, and all across UCI, if you follow us on Instagram or Twitter at UCI Dining, we're going to be posting challenges every week. These challenges are going to be to find various things in our dining locations that reflect sustainability practices that are important to UC. All you do, you take a photo of that, you post it up on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll have the details of hashtags and all of that on our social channels there. If you get the most completed challenges at the end of this competition, you're getting 10 free meals at East Food Court. So, something to be excited for there. Let's go to the next one here. We're also doing, as I mentioned, that vegan cooking class. So that's going to be with the ARC's very own Chef Jess as well as Chef Angel. They're going to be teaming up to host this vegan cooking class. That's going to be Monday, November 16th, same time as today. So we hope to see many of you there as well. And if you don't get a chance today to sign up on the sheet before you go, if you're on our sustainability newsletter distribution, or if you check out our website, UCI Dining, we'll have information there for how you can sign up as well. Let's go to the next one. And then, as I mentioned, we're also doing a speaker event. This is part one of our two-part speaker series. So part two will be in winter quarter, and that's going to be focused more on food waste. But part one here is focused more on food production and involvement in the sustainable food system. And this is going to be on Wednesday, November 18th. It's going to be 5 to 7. There will be heavy snacks because we understand this is a precious time slot, competes with trying to get an early dinner and that kind of thing. So we hope you'll still go and eat something afterwards, but there will be heavy snacks to kind of sate your appetite for a bit. We're going to have Stella Liu, who is UCI alumna. She's the founder of One Seed, and she's also a former participant from the UCI Costa Rica program. So One Seed is a monthly subscription kit gardening seed planting program. So it's an opportunity to learn about how we can practice this on an individual basis in our own lives. Katrina Benedicto is Key Accounts Manager with Java City Eco Grounds, which does the sustainable certified coffees. And then Jennifer Gamble is the program director for the UCI Costa Rica program, so talking more about how we here at UCI can become involved in supporting these sustainable food systems and education of the students we interface with. So the link there is to RSVP as well as the form up here, and like I mentioned with the vegan cooking class, information on that will be also in our November newsletter. They'll come out at the start of November and on our website, ucidining.com. Let's go to the next one. So if you have any questions that you don't get a chance to ask us today, because I will stick around for a little bit, feel free to shoot us an email, give us a call, and we're happy to help you out. And that's all.